In this video, I'm going to show you how to add an employee to Cubex as well as show you a shortcut. The first thing to do is to log into my QLink, click the Employees tab, click Employees. Now you will hit Add New. The employee ID is the ID used in your practice management software. If you do not use employee IDs, you can just use the person's initials. The user ID is going to be the first letter of the first name, then the full last name. The password is going to be 1234, and then when this person is fingerprint enrolled at the cabinet, they can change their PIN to something more secure. Employee records do default to being active. When an employee leaves your practice, you can come in and change this to inactive. Department is optional. The email address is going to be the email of the person that you are setting up for. The DEA number is used for Cubex PMP customers only. Expiration date for employee access is used for temporary employees. If we scroll down to advanced permissions, an administrator has full permissions to perform any task at the Cubex solutions. If the employee is a veterinarian, you will want to identify them as an attending doctor. This will add them to the list of doctors to choose at the cabinet for a transaction, generally the ordering doctor. As a side note, if you have relief doctors that do shifts periodically, you can add them as an attending doctor without any permissions. This will allow them to be tied to the transactions in Cubex, but they cannot actually access anything out of the system. For bypass witness, you have to use extreme caution. If this box is checked for a person, that person does not need a witness to do anything in Cubex. If you have witness enabled for all your controlled substance transactions, this person will not need a witness. Use this very sparingly or not at all. In Cubex, we have discrepancy reviewers and discrepancy resolvers. If someone is a discrepancy reviewer, they will be able to review discrepancies that will then go into a nurse review queue to be looked at by a discrepancy resolver for final resolution. Discrepancy resolvers can perform final resolution for a discrepancy that then becomes part of the controlled substance logs. If you are using the backstock workflow, you will need to have a few individuals who can replenish the active stock from the backstock. This box will need to be checked for these individuals. Additionally, if you have controlled substances as backstock items, these individuals will need to have access to controlled substances in order to replenish active stock of controlled substances. For basic user permissions, Cubex is broken up into transaction types: issue, cycle count, and restock. Then additionally, it is broken down by the type of inventory item. We have controlled substances, non-controlled medications, and supplies. For this person, I want them to be able to witness controlled substance transactions, and I want them to be able to issue out controlled substances, issue out non-controlled medications, and issue out supplies. I don't want them to be able to cycle count or restock anything, so I will leave those boxes blank. In order for a Cubex user to be able to add items to a patient profile at the cabinet, the Override All Items button will need to be checked, and you can leave the other boxes unchecked. Access templates are not used with the current version of MyQLink. Scroll down, click Create, and now that person has been created. For a shortcut to do the exact same thing, you will just find somebody who currently is in the system that has the same permissions of the new person that you want to add. You will click on their record, you'll click Copy, and now all the permission levels for that person will be moved over to this new record, and you will only have to add the personal information. So let's say we're going to add a new person, and it's going to be Tracy Burgess, and the user ID is going to be T Burgess, and the password is going to be 1234 until we can get her fingerprint enrolled. Once I have that part filled out, again, the permission levels are already filled in, I scroll down and I select Save. And that's how you add an employee to Cubex.